Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the All Star Wrestling Review Series. We enter the month of June of 1980, so pretty big thing here. Pretty big things coming ahead. See the return of Larry Zbyszko to action, among other things. Obviously, this show hosted by Vince McMahon, Bruno Sammartino, including Tony Atlas and Mike Masters match from the 11/24/79 Championship Wrestling. Not necessarily sure. Maybe there's a damage to other footage or something of that nature. Not necessarily sure why you'd go back, literally like at this point, almost 8 months ago for content unless something got damaged. Anyway, Larry Zbyszko making his way out for a match, and of course, building to the showdown at Shea, among other things. Larry Zbyszko and Bruno Sammartino having their one-on-one Summer's War would be important to a number of individuals, um, and so it's there. Obviously, Zbyszko a little bit lighter hair, but still the same old nasty heel he's been for the last several months since turning his back on Bruno. His opponent in this particular foray is none other than the Frank Savage 512 wins with a suplex. Zbyszko starts the stalling that he becomes known for in the AWA and later WCW. Just trying to get as much as he can. Links up and kind of rustles up with arm bars, hammerlocks, and the like. Tries to stomp around. Also tries to get some mat time front face lock, almost like a guillotine there, and some cheap shot kicks along the way by Zbyszko as well. Certainly, Larry Zbyszko not willing to take a backward step for the sake of pause of the cause, so to speak, but gets the win with the suplex in that about 5.25 minute reality. Baron Mikhail Cicluna returning to action here, who we saw through the majority of the 70s part of this program, and Pedro Morales pinning him with a backslide 443. After the bout, there is a interview by Bruno Sammartino with Morales at ringside. Morales is at least putting it forward that he's friends with Bruno, and the former world champions commiserate. Basically, Pedro saying that he's not being given the opportunities he'd like to be given as a former champion, and Bruno pointing out that he'd been gone for several years. The match itself is about as basic as you would imagine it to be. Got to give Pedro credit. He does have a good bit of fire in his belly as far as going after the Baron. Baron comes back at him with some decent punch kick maneuvers, arm bars, arm ringers, and the like. Baron tries to take him down and cinches up on the arm, as it were, backslide and a 1-2-3, and away we go there in that way. Kind of getting things going in that general direction, and that's kind of what's there as far as that's concerned. Match is competitive from Pedro's perspective. I'm not sure that him being competitive with a guy who's done, the majority, mostly enhancement work over the last several months and years in Cicluna is the best of situations, but it is what it is as far as moving forward, and they continue to give him work, the Baron that is, throughout the next little while. Then we move forward to Larry Sharp pinning Moose Monroe with a pile driver 346. Larry Sharp, of course, the owner or former owner of the Monster Factory. Pretty big deal there. And, it's an interesting thing. Sharp, a guy who they eventually do kind of push, having at least a couple of matches with Backlund at the time, around the time frame, summer to fall of 1980, around major clubs, and it's here, but it's also not exactly something of major note. Bruno does interview Larry Sharp prior to his match. Sharp talks about going to Australia, talks about going to Japan, talks about being a major star wherever he goes, but needing to come back to the WWF to get the level of competition that he believes he's worth. Match with Monroe is relatively plotting. Larry Sharp cheats wherever he possibly can continually. Also attempts to take him down. Kind of goes for things like a modified spinning toe hold and other aggressive maneuvers in that vein. We see, pretty hard shots by um, um, the wonder that is Sharp here, and he's working over the leg the majority of the time. Not sure why he's going for a more submission-based style when he's going to use the pile driver to get the victory anyway. Keep in mind, pile driver banned in many southern territories to get extra heat on the hold. But then we move to the next in the series of matches, which happens to be the um, Intercontinental Champion Ken Patera with the Grand Wizard defeating Angelo Gomez via submission, swinging full Nelson 824 after the bout. Bruno interviews the Wizard and Patera, your Intercontinental Champion, and again that seems to be more just to get Patera extra TV time, an interesting plaid-ish jacket, and a multicolored red, white, and blue hat on the head of the Wizard gives him a bit of an advantage. Not sure that Gomez, a guy that Patera had beaten handily in less than 3 minutes, needs 8.5 here, or almost 8.5. But Patera cranks down on him with reverse chin locks, basic stuff, front face locks, and a punch kick mentality. Gomez does take the majority of punishment, does fight back with a couple punches here and there, but nothing remotely even close to looking like he's truly competitive. And needless to say, there is a wonder of aggression from Patera to just about anybody. Says he's the Intercontinental Champion now, and no one's going to stop him. Also, almost dares Bruno to shift focus and kind of mocks him for having issues with Larry Zbyszko going forward. And again, Tony Atlas in a match from 1979, which we've, I believe, already covered here. So I'll close on that note. But just the idea that, Tony Atlas and Mike Masters from the 11/24 Championship Wrestling of 1979 is here, and we will be back with more right after this.